Okay, so number one, we need a balanced budget amendment. Now, what is that? It's basically Congress saying we are not going to go over a certain amount, a percentage, 10%, 15, whatever, in our budgetary yearly expenditures. You're not going to get an exact balanced budget amendment, but you can limit it, limit the spending to this percentage over what we take in, we the federal government. Always going to have emergency funds that you have, say China invades Taiwan. It's going to cost us billions, maybe $1 trillion if they do that. So you got to have that built in. But we need to stop the insane spending here. And just as an example of the insane spending, in his first 2 years, Joe Biden's administration has spent $6.2 trillion that we didn't have. That's unfunded. $6.2 trillion. And you go, oh, COVID, oh, COVID. Well, Donald Trump in 4 years spent a colossal $7.8 trillion. And that's a big number, 7.8, but that's over 4 years. Biden's 6.2 over 2. And President Trump said, well, I had to rebuild the military and I had to, get us out of this economic funk and I had to cut taxes in order to do that. Every president has excuses, and some of them are valid, for the way he handles his administration. Biden's excuse is he doesn't care. I mean, there's another insane bill that we'll get to tomorrow. I don't have time for it tonight. Another colossal spending, ridiculous thing. I mean, just keep in mind one thing. $3 million taxpayer dollars for a jogging path in Georgia named after Michelle Obama. No. The fact that that would be in the omnibus bill is insulting to all of us. Stop. First course correction, balanced budget amendment. Okay. Second course correction is a federal law passed by Congress, signed by the president, banning equity in hiring or school admissions because all Americans are equal under the law. Well, that's what the Constitution says. So we're all equal under the law. You can't have equity, which Biden has promoted all day long, okay, where one group, a selected group, or groups with an S, get preferential economic and educational treatment. That's against the Constitution. Well, let's put it in law, okay? No more equity. If you want to help certain groups that are underperforming, that's fine. Do the mentoring program, Brother's Keeper, all of that is good. But you don't force employers or schools to impose preferences. That's what equity is. It's wrong. That's number two. Number three, term limits. It's never going to happen while the Democrats control any body, okay? But it's needed in this country. We got too many corrupt politicians sitting in there forever. Number four, federal laws that say if states do not enforce immigration law or any other law, they get no federal aid at all. None. That'll put the sanctuary movement to bed. None. Not a penny goes to California, New York, Massachusetts, and the other sanctuary states. Nothing. You don't enforce federal law. Again, federal law is passed by Congress, signed by a president. You get no federal funds. That would be huge. Huge. You can't do it on a state basis, which is why we have this crazy crime problem, because DAs in Chicago and New York and San Francisco and LA won't enforce the law. The states are the states. But feds can say, no taxpayer money to you, Massachusetts, as long as you're a sanctuary state. Yeah, you see how fast Massachusetts got out of that. Okay, next, new immigration laws, fair laws. I'm for the DACA thing. I think if a kid was dragged here as a baby, a small kid, by his parents who were irresponsible and crossed into this country illegally, that kid is not responsible. And he's here and he she's here and they're ingrained in the system, you give them a pathway. But not blanket amnesty. No. And you enforce the law and you build a wall. New immigration laws. And you make it easier for legal people to get here. You take more. And I take refugees and I give asylum status, but you do it in a right way or you're disqualified forever. Forever. If you're a foreign national and you don't apply for asylum the right way and you get caught, you can never come here. That's part of the new immigration law. Next one, new federal agency, brand new, not attached to the Justice Department or the Federal Elections Commission, to investigate all federal election complaints, because many Americans have lost faith in our election system. Okay? So we have a brand new agency. If there's a state that has been accused of not counting the votes properly in a national election, that agency immediately goes in. But it can't be attached to the FBI or the Justice Department because that's political. Okay? This new agency might devolve into that, but give it a shot. Okay? And finally, in the course correction, we need to have guidelines, federal guidelines on Americans suing the federal government, okay, for censorship, lack of due process, and bias in the workplace. Say you get fired because you're black, okay? That should be a federal beef, and you should be able to sue whoever fired you in federal court, not state court, okay? So let's be fair about this. So those are the course corrections that I would immediately get into motion. There are others, but all of those are within our Constitution. Okay, they're all not hard to pass. There won't be any court cases at the Supreme Court level about them. We already have a great Constitution in place, but we're ignoring it. We're ignoring it. And that's why this nation is tottering on the edge of anarchy in some places. We have anarchy. So anyway, I'm glad you guys wrote me, and if you are concierge or premium members on BillO'Reilly.com, you can download what I just told you, which is why it's important to sign up for a membership. We have transcripts that you can download. You'll have it, boom. You can refer to it anytime you want to refer to it. You can spread it around to your friends. Okay, that's the course correction that we need. I thought a lot about this. All right, when I say stand up for your country, part of standing up for your country is when it's in trouble, which it is now, getting it right back.